Well, it really is never too early to be thinking about kindergarten. A lot of parents are wondering if their child is really ready. It's not just about knowing all the letters and numbers anymore either. So, joining us this morning is Jen Wirt, CEO of Coral Care. That's a platform helping families access high quality pediatric therapy and support. Jen, good morning. Looking forward to this conversation. Great to be with you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, our reporter in that story you just heard said that kindergarten is not a one size fits all. Would you agree with that assessment?
I agree with that. With Coral Care, we're a child development platform. We see kids all the time, really focused on like preschool and kindergarten readiness. I'm actually a mom of two. I sent one of my children to school older and one younger. So I know this quite well, and I fully agree with that.
I'm a dad of two. I got a 3-year old and a 1-year old, and I got to make that decision pretty soon. The older one has a September birthday. Do we do the red shirt, or do we send him straight to kindergarten? I know this is something a lot of parents are thinking about. What kind of factors should we be considering when weighing those options?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, it isn't about the ABCs and being able to count. I mean, of course, there are certain things that will be learned in kindergarten and are expected, but at the end of the day, it comes down to like emotional readiness, ability to handle transitions, frustration tolerance. So, do they get completely overwhelmed, and does everything that it doesn't go exactly their way trigger a meltdown that can't be recovered from? Can children be independent? All of that really factors in much more than the academics.
And how do you know if you're just dealing with a toddler tantrum or if it could be something more that needs to be addressed? Is that where Coral Care comes in?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where so occupational therapists are a great source to talk through really, is your child ready? Is what you're seeing a version of normal, or is it something that warrants extra support, extra time? And so, in terms of like, is the meltdown normal? Like, kids have meltdowns and tantrums all the time. A lot of it comes down to how frequently they happen, how long they're happening for, and what recovery from them looks like.
For parents who are watching this and they just aren't so sure yet, what are some signs that their child might need a little extra support before school starts?
So the thing with kindergarten now, especially, is that there a lot is required of the child in terms of their ability to pay attention and their ability to easily transition from one activity to the other. And that could be from like circle time on the rug to going and doing some a worksheet at the table to going to PE. And so kids need to be able to easily transition. They need to be able to follow multi-step directions. And it could be as simple as like, go sit down in your chair, take out a pencil and take out a piece of paper and wait for further instruction. Like that's an example of a multi-step. Kids are expected to be able to handle like basic social situations. So for example, at home, we kind of jump to all of our kids' needs when it's more of a one-on-one experience, but it's a group situation in kindergarten. And kids have to be able to accept that another child is getting called on and not them, and they have to wait their turn. So there's like a lot of waiting and accepting that they didn't get exactly what they wanted.
Gosh, you got me when you talked about easy transitions. That's something we're working through right now. For parents asking what can we do at home to help, is there anything we can be doing to be working on building confidence and healthy routines and setting our kids up for success?
So I know it's easy to give in to your kids when they are saying, help me with this, help me with that, but really pushing on independence, like being able to put your jacket on independently, use the bathroom independently, encouraging them to clearly ask for what they need. Like being able to advocate for yourself is so, so critical in kindergarten, even if language isn't fully developed. Um, Doing play dates. And it's totally normal at this young age if the kids are doing what we call parallel play, which is, I feel like parents see this all the time. You do a play date and it's like the kids didn't even interact, but being able to play with another child. And I think the most important thing is observe and trust your intuition. And if you feel that something is going on or you're just not sure, get an opinion from an occupational therapist.
And when it comes to pediatric therapy, is there such thing as too early in a child's life?
No, not at all. We actually work with babies as young as coming out of the NICU.
Mm.
Actually, earlier is better. The sooner that you can get a child support, the easier it is to set them up on a path. to be more successful. And so certainly don't wait.
Jen, give me a little background on why you decided to find this company. And we also have your website pulled up here. Where can folks go for more information?
Yeah, so I started Coral Care because I could not, my daughter was exhibiting some signs of delays, my older daughter, and I couldn't find anyone to help her at all. And I was just calling lists where I would get to this practice is no longer in business. Nobody took my insurance, and it was just a maze to get support in spite of being told what I just said to all of you, which is like get care as soon as possible. And so I started Coral Care to just make care more accessible and more affordable and in home, because that's really where kids are most themselves. And so that's where they can really see the most progress. On our website, we haven't launched yet in Georgia. We're in 7 states currently and growing as fast as we can. So for local families in Georgia, we actually have a lot of resources on our website to support families. We have a full kindergarten readiness guide. We have an article about like making that decision around like, should you advocate for redshirting your child? We have a kindergarten readiness checklist that you can go through, and there's no passing score. It's more like, am I seeing a few things in a certain category that might warrant looking into a little bit more. And we have an online screener where you can answer specific questions about your child privately and find out if they would benefit from an evaluation.
Jen, this is all so great. I can't wait to play around on your website some this weekend. But for parents who are just feeling overwhelmed, I mean, we already have so much going on. It's hard to think past what's for dinner tonight. Is there anything you want to say as a reassurance to them when it comes to kindergarten readiness?
It's, there's no exact right decision. And I think that's so hard to hear, but there isn't an exact right decision for your child. There is absolutely no harm in them waiting a year if you have some real concerns. There's a lot of research that being the oldest in the classroom is actually better for them in the long-term development, because it really is not just how they are today in kindergarten. You have to think about like when puberty sets in middle school, and really in high school, if they're the youngest, like there are implications there as well. And so I would just say, trust your intuition and know that like you are your child's best advocate.
And we can tell you are for your kids. Jen, thank you so much for joining us. CEO of Coral Care, their website, joincoralcare.com for more information. We appreciate your time, Jen. Have a good weekend.
You too. Take care.